I'm here with Mike Pollock, who, if you're a gamer you, and you're a Sonic fan, you know him as Dr. Eggman.
Well, thank you so much, and hi. That's who it is. Well, that covers the first question.
Yeah. Well, and we'd be the first of many Sonic fans to say thank you for doing this interview.
Certainly. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you for having me.
What inspired you to be a voice actor?
As a kid, I loved theater and I loved radio. I dabbled in community theater when I was a kid. Dabbled in a little bit of radio through high school. When it came time to choose a career, radio seemed a bit more of a stable option because theatrical productions and on-camera productions tended to be very short-lived. So radio seemed a little more stable. After about 15 or so years in radio, radio proved to be somewhat unstable as well. So I took the experience that I built up in radio, built a demo tape, sent it around to people, and was able to fall back on the voiceover industry because people like my voiceover work.
What was the experience like being invited by the producer to audition for Dr. Eggman?
A great honor, a great privilege. At the time, I'd been working at 4Kids TV, among other places, but I've been doing a lot of work at 4Kids. And the producer of Kirby Right Back at You, the lovely and talented Mike Hagney knew my work from Kirby. And when they had gotten the license to dub Sonic X, he remembered me and had me in mind for the role of Dr. Eggman. He wanted me to come and audition. So he sent me clips of Dean Bristow, and I worked on my Dean Bristow impression, which I guess kind of sounded like this, kind of like Dean Bristow, and went in for an audition, and then another round of callbacks, and a second round of callbacks. And by the third time around, they pretty much decided, you'll do. And there it was.
How did you develop your take on the voice based on the references you were given?
Well, it started as a straight up Dean Bristow impression because that's what they asked for. And then by a couple of episodes into Sonic X, the producer, Mike, and director, Andrew Reynolds from Broadway and TV, said, "We love what you're doing, but we'd like to add some more peaks and valleys to the character to allow for comedy." And they gave me a reference of Martin Short's Jiminy Glick character, who starts up way up high and then goes way down low. And I incorporated that into the performance, and it kind of fell into a more natural and easy place in my voice, and that's what we ended up with.
Was it difficult getting the timing right when dubbing over the original audio?
Thanks to electronic wizardry, it would have been a lot more difficult some 20 years earlier before everything went digital. With the magic of digital, we record stuff. If it's way off, the director will say, "Yeah, try that again and try and pause a little bit more here and maybe slow down on the back end, and we'll see what we can do." But usually after every take, the engineer would go to work and trim and squish and expand and stretch and make it look like it fit even better the first time.
If an animated Sonic movie or a new cartoon show or a new game was being made, would you be interested in returning as Dr. Eggman?
I can't think of a good reason to say no. Why would I not want to work? I love what I do.
What are your thoughts on AI and how it's taking over movies, music, TV shows, and video games?
AI is a great tool for a lot of stuff. I use it all. I was asking AI questions about random stuff just minutes ago. It's great for some of my hobby work. I have over on weekends, I record radio shows and clean up the playlist so that when I play them back on my podcast player, the songs and album art show up at the right time. AI is since I've been using AI to do that heavy lifting and do some of the math faster than I could, it's a wonderful tool for that type of thing. Where it gets challenging is in the realm of deep fakes, whether hobbyists using deep fakes to possibly shame your friends, or just creating acting performances out of no actors. That's where it runs into trouble. Think about if you go to the theater and go to see a live play. You're going there to see humans on stage, flesh and blood people performing for you as only humans can. You're not going to go into a theater and want to see a bunch of computers perform something when you're expecting a play with real people. While the trend has been to save lots of money by, commercials have been generated completely by AI lately. I hear them in the podcast that I was talking about. It's like some of those are not great. The phrasing is wrong. It sounds very inhuman. There are actors who love acting. AI doesn't love being an AI. AI doesn't have the capacity to love what it does. There are flesh and blood humans that, yes, just like any job, need to be paid for their time and energy and effort and all the training they've had. But I think if you want good theater, you should start with good actors because you're going to get a much more organic performance than from an inorganic AI prompt that you have to tweak and say, no, I'm a little more intense in this part. And then, man, no, maybe raise the voice right about here. You can have an actor do it in a fraction of the time with a fraction of the effort.
And plus, a flesh and blood actor also gives it more depth and more emotion, and gives it
Sure.
soul.
It draws from a human experience that an AI can't draw from, kind of by definition.
Have you seen any of the live action films?
I've not seen them mostly because I already know I'm not in them, so there's nothing in there for me to go see. But no, it's a separate branch of the franchise. It's one that has not involved me, and therefore I don't see the need to involve myself until they invite.
Have you seen any of the Sonic fan made videos on YouTube?
I've been presented with many of them. It's a challenge because there are, even though I'm not technically a Sega employee, I'm a contractor, there are rules about intellectual property and IP violations. And most organizations, Sega included, have policies where they don't accept unsolicited ideas. And seeing someone else's interpretation of the character could be concerned or could be considered an unauthorized or unsolicited idea. So I don't want to try and risk any influence in somebody saying, well, you watched my thing and then you did something similar. You stole my idea.
What do you like the most about being the voice of Eggman over the course of the 20 plus years since you started voicing it?
Meeting fans in person could not be nicer. I have, in all the recent conventions I've been doing, I have not met an, an unpleasant fan yet. Everyone is we're as delighted to meet me as I am delighted to meet them. They get to share their memories. I get to share my memories, and they are unfailingly pleasant, sometimes even bringing lovely gifts, which is delightfully nice.
How did you feel about getting nominated for a BTVA Voice Actor Award for Best Male Vocal Performance in a Video Game for Sonic Lost World?
As people love to say, it's an honor just to be nominated, which I'll say because didn't win that at the moment, but that's all right. Um, Actors and their egos exist not only to for the sheer joy of acting, but for your entertainment. So we like to make sure that there's somebody on the other end being an audience liking what we're doing. So the fact that somebody decides to show that with an award nomination, even better. I'm not here for the awards necessarily, while awards are lovely. I'm here to entertain and give people joy and make sure they have the same amount of joy that I have getting to entertain. But an award would be nice. Don't have one yet. There's plenty of shelf space to fill it with awards.
Yeah, that's why I do my interviews and other YouTube videos. Like I do it like for the sheer joy of doing it and
Of course.
helping like fans understand what their favorite voice actor or celebrity has gone through and like and what they're
I
currently
appreciate that.
in the process of doing that doing things.
That's excellent. That is an excellent service you provide.
Yeah, I call it edutainment.
That works. I get that.
Yeah, you're entertaining plus you're educating the fans.
One can only hope. Every day's a school day.
Yeah, like my dad said, like I always say to my friends, if you don't learn something new every day, then you've wasted a day.
Hmm. And sometimes it doesn't even feel like learning. But if you think back in the day, say, oh, I didn't know that before. Now I know something.
That's all the questions that I have for you.
All right.
Thanks again, Mike, for doing this interview.
Certainly. Thanks so much for having me, Brian. It was a pleasure.